and call this meeting to order. So welcome everyone to our first full meeting of the Natomas Garden and Arts Club Zoom format. What you should have on your screen is today's agenda and also information for contacting the Natomas Garden and Arts Club, and also information for our vermiculture presentation, which is number 5 on our agenda today, coming up by Tom Hawkins. So you will all be muted. No one has permission to unmute themselves, and that will be for the flow of the presentation. We are recording, but if you have an issue with being, I am informing you that you are being recorded, and if you have an issue with being recorded, you are invited to leave and watch the recording at a later time. So, if you have, Angela, I'm getting a little bit of a feedback.
Okay.
Angela is online. Angela is one of our new board members. She's our new secretary, and I wanted to, she's going to be, I'm going to introduce her in a second, but I wanted to tell you guys how to communicate during the meeting. So there's a chat function. Some of you have it at the bottom, some of you have it at the top. It's Alt-H if you want to do it with keystrokes. And if you put questions into the chat function, then at the end of each section, Angela will pose them to me if there's anything that needs to be clarified. Additionally, when we get down to the special presentation, we have Chris Hawkins and Nancy, I'm blanking out on your last name, sorry. But we're, Nancy and Chris are our board members, and they're going to be fielding the chat questions for Tom's presentation. So without further ado, I did want to introduce the new board members that we have joining the Natomas Garden and Arts Club board. We've got Teresa Lehane, and she's wonderful. She's joining in the capacity of media and social platform outreach. So she's done a wonderful job with the logo, with the website. We've got a Twitter, Facebook, and an Instagram page. And if you haven't liked and followed those pages, you should. Additionally, we have Howard Knutson, who has joined as treasurer. He is a gardener and a Natomas resident and a CPA. So he will be the Natomas Garden and Arts Club treasurer. And then Angela Chow has joined as our secretary. And she is a recent graduate. She's doing her college work at Los Rios at City College, and she's my daughter. So anyway, so without further ado, Angela, are there any questions in the chat about the first order of business? And can we move on to number 2, talking about the NGAC in the age of COVID? Angela, any questions? All right, so moving right along. What we haven't had any in-person meetings since February, and so we wanted to continue our activity even though things have changed a lot. So we're going to do our meetings Zoom format. We're going to do presentations like Tom's presentation today. We're hopefully going to be doing workshops, art workshops, gardening workshops and such. we're also, like I said, Teresa's done a wonderful job with the web page, with our social media platforms. We're trying to do a lot of more communication through our member emails. So if your current email is not listed with us, please do send us your email so that we can send you any notifications. And then in addition to our online activities, we're also continuing to do a lot of in-person things. We did recently have a cleanup at the Niños Community Gardens, which was really nice. We were socially distanced and masked, and we did a wonderful job. Brandy Boyd has posted in the Natomas Buzz a wonderful picture, a beautiful picture of us with the clean gardens. We are planning to do a cleanup at the butterfly garden that we did at Garden Valley Elementary, but that's in the works. We've got, there's a cleanup this Saturday coming up in the Natomas Gardenland neighborhood. And I'd like to encourage our members to attend that. And you can find more information from them. It's August 1st, and they're meeting at the Foods Co. at, I don't see the time here, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. on Saturday, 9 to 12. So I do encourage you to get out there if you can and be social. With that, Angela, do we have any questions about our online activities or our in-person activities? Okay, I do encourage you to keep an eye on the website for updates, and on the Facebook page and the Twitter and the Instagram pages. Moving on to item number 3. This is an exciting one. On Monday, the Natomas Garden and Arts Club, in conjunction, in partnership with the Circe Society and the City of Sacramento Council District 3, that's Jeff Harris's office, we've applied for the SMUD Shine Grant for 2020 for a $60,000 project that's entitled Miles for Monarchs, and it is a pollinator habitat rehabilitation project, a park basically, that we're hoping to build sort of adjacent to the Niños Community Garden. So that's just been submitted. They are doing the evaluations this month and next month, and making the final decisions in October and notifications in November. So if we do, fingers crossed, if we do get the grant, then the grant will be implemented between January and December of 2021. So keep your eyes posted on the website for more information about the grant, the application, and the process as it goes along. Any questions about the grant? It's very interesting. If you do have any questions that you think of that come to your mind later, go ahead and email me at the Garden and Arts Club, excuse me, Natomas Garden Arts Club, no and in the email, Natomas Garden Arts Club at gmail.com, if you think of any questions later on. And so moving on to item number 4, excuse me, Chalk It Up 2020 is near and dear to my heart. Chalk It Up, I've been involved with them for decades, but this year they're having a modified format, and the Natomas Garden and Arts Club is going to participate. What they're doing is remote sponsorships. So everyone gets to sponsor and do their artwork where they're being sponsored. So we right now are asking to do our artwork at the Natomas Community Center adjacent to the Rose Garden. Now this Chalk It Up is Labor Day weekend. So we have a bit of time to get more information about the Chalk It Up format. We did have a wonderful idea to try to do our Chalk It Up presentation at the fire station, but that's still pending. So all eyes posted on that. So Angela, are there any questions for, I've lost your video, Angela. Are there any questions for item 4 on the agenda? Yes? No?
There's questions for item 3, actually.
SMUD grant.
Becky asked, how many award recipients are there?
As I recall, what they said at the SMUD seminar is that there is not a cap, I don't think. I think I'll have to check into that and verify that information. But in terms of, if you're asking about what our chances are, I don't know. I don't want to be too optimistic, but I really do feel our chances are good. I'd like to get a copy of the grant application posted to the website so you can see how well it aligns with the SHINE grant and the SMUD pillars of community support. So I'll check into that. I'll email you back the answer. But as far as I recall, there is not a specific dollar cap. So is there any other questions, Angela? All right, so with that, oh yes, Angela.
Teresa asked, are these documents available online?
The SMUD information is available at the SMUD website, and the information on the grant itself, I'd like to get that posted to our website. So hopefully within the next week or two, we can have more information posted on the website, on the Natomas Garden, the natomasgac.org website. So